Hello, this is Lisa Hazard with We Are All Psychic, and it is yet another wonderful week with Misty. Misty, how you doing today?
I'm okay. How are you doing, Lisa?
I'm spiffy again. I think I said spiffy last time. One of these many times we've talked, I think I've been spiffy every single time.
You know what? I like it when you're spiffy.
Me too. I don't like not being spiffy because it sucks. I'm an angry, mean person in bed.
No, I don't like that. I like spiffy much better.
Me too.
I mean, it just sounds like you're just wandering around, skipping and hopping and, wandering around.
That's pretty much what happens. Yeah. Just gotta flit from here to here to here doing this.
So how was your week, Lisa?
My week's been kind of crazy. Like I've had some health things going on, but I mean, it's been a good week. Nothing really crazy happened. I mean, it kind of feels like everything's crazy and that's just the new normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like nothing's going on, but a whole bunch of stuff has, but it just seems so like normal to have like a whole bunch of things going on all the time. That's just like, do this. And I'm not going out because I'm staying away, from the pandemic and stuff. But it makes my social media life more active and my sleep schedule really, really crazy.
I know.
Yeah.
My youngest daughter, she is going to school, until it starts getting bad, then we're going to take her out. But, just to get up in the morning and take her to school and not sleep till 11.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
very good for me, and I'm actually getting up and having a productive day. And that's good. That's part of having some kind of normal life, but it is crazy, the way things have been. And, just looking around, with people wearing all these masks, it's just depressing.
Yeah, it is.
It's just crazy.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about something not depressing. How about that?
Yes.
Let's talk about your messages. Let's talk about spiffy psychic stuff. We'll talk about your messages. Misty has these messages, everybody. And she called me up. I don't know if we talked about this already or not, but she called me up probably a month and a half ago, we should say, maybe.
Yeah.
And she sounded very nervous, and she told me she had a message for me. And she said to keep doing the podcast and to pursue that. What she didn't know is that at that time, I was really directionless. I didn't know what to do with myself. I've been thinking about the podcast, working on it a little more, and she just came across it. So then she told me about her messages. And Misty, you want to explain?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of, I say it's kind of hard to explain, but it's really not. I can't control it. It doesn't matter who the message is for. I can know the person. I can not know the person.
Explain like what the message is, what exactly that is. What is it? Where does it come from? What does it feel like? What is it? What happens?
Okay. Well, what happens is, I'll be doing something and then all of a sudden everything stops and this voice goes in my head, and it's this familiar voice, and it says, this person needs to know this, and you need to give them the message, and then as soon as that happens, I feel like this certain urgency to give this message to this person, no matter what it may be. It could be something simple. Most of the time I don't even understand it, and I don't feel at peace until I give that message and relay it. A lot of times, and it doesn't happen, like I said, it didn't happen a whole lot, but when it does, it's just like, you better do this right now.
Right.
You're not going to get sleep until you deliver this message.
Is there like anxiety behind it or just a push?
Oh, yes. Lots of anxiety. I don't know why, but that's just how I feel when it happens.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times, it will happen like when I'm around a stranger.
Yeah.
It could pop in my head, and that's when I really don't like it, because then I'm looking at this person and I'm thinking, oh, I don't want to do this. And then, that
Have you ever not given the message?
I haven't. No.
I bet, yeah, with that kind of pressure. I mean, what's the voice sound like? You say it's familiar. Like, what do you think the voice is?
I love to help people any way I can. And so I think that voice is probably maybe their spirit guide or maybe my spirit guide trying to help them out somehow.
Right.
It's that kind of, it's not really a voice. It's like a deep thought that pops in
Okay.
my head.
Okay.
Okay, if that makes more sense. You
Yeah.
know, it's not like I hear a different voice in my head thinking,
It's like you're
"Da-da-da-da-da-da-da."
thinking. Yeah, it's like a thought.
Right, but it's
Yeah.
like a different kind of thought. It's like a strong thought that I wouldn't know anything about, and it just
Yeah.
comes.
It's an ace of
And
swords.
yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's weird. It's very
Yeah.
weird. Like one time, um, there was this woman next to me, and it happened, and the voice told me, you need to look at her and tell her everything's going to be okay. And I was like, oh shit, I don't know this girl. I don't know what she's going through. And the strange lady is going to come up to her and tell us. So I was like, okay, so I didn't know her from anything. And I just went up to her and I gave her the message. And it's like, she just stopped and looked at me. And then, like, she just got this big smile on her face. Like, she went from, like, a deep depression to all of a sudden, like, okay, it is going to be okay. Just because this strange, crazy woman told me it was going to be okay. I don't know. But,
How
and
do
that
you
kind of makes me feel good.
how do you feel after you've delivered a message and
Oh, I
they've
feel like
received it?
a whole weight's been lifted off totally.
Yeah.
It's
Do you
just
feel
like,
their weight lifted and your like pressure to tell them also? Because you're an
yeah,
empath, so you feel them kind of maybe or
and I'm still kind of learning about that. So I never thought of it that way, but you're right. You're right. I probably am feeling a lot of them and me, and they both go down and out and release at the same time. I never thought about that till now.
do you
So
remember the
maybe,
first message you ever got?
oh gosh, no, I don't. Not offhand, I don't. Um,
Can you
no,
remember
I
one of
can't.
the earlier ones when you were? Did it happen when you were a child or?
No, no.
Oh, okay.
It was
So it's more
more.
like teenage years or?
No, probably late 20s.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Do you know what might have started it? Was it like you started to explore your some kind like your psychic side, or did it just
Yeah,
became?
when I started to open myself back up is when it started to come, uh, and then it would come more. When I talked about it last week about how you start steering away from yourself, and you don't have as many things happen. But when you get online with yourself, you're in line, and everything falls in place, and you feel
Yes.
whole, and you feel, well, I can give a message now, or I can do this, I can do that. That's usually when it tends to happen. When I go off track, it doesn't. And in my teenage years and probably early 20s, I was a lot off track. So that might be
Weren't we
why.
all? Is there on track at 15 to 26? I don't know.
Yeah, I know, right? It's crazy, but yeah, it's just, it happens, and I make sure that I get the message out, and then it's just like I'm done.
So do
I've
you ever
been
have
let.
any doubts about that when it happens? Like, is this real? Because I mean, it sounds like every time you've delivered a message, there's been confirmation for you, and also a
Yeah,
feeling. So,
yeah,
like, what kind of
doubt,
doubts? Like,
yes.
what do you think to yourself? Like, what kind of thoughts
Like
do you
when
have?
it first started happening, I would be like, I don't really want to do this. Um, this is kind of crazy. This is just a different thought, process in my head, or something, to that aspect. And then I just started to go ahead and do it. Is it going to hurt? Like I said, I don't mind. I love helping other people. So what is it going to hurt me to do it? And
Yeah.
then it was like, when I did it, like I said, I felt, so much relief. And so I was like, okay, then I won't doubt it from now on. I will do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even to this day, like right before I had talked to you, I was like, she's going to think I'm flipping crazy. you know, telling her about that, you know, but in the end, it doesn't matter because the message has to get out no matter what it is.
It was a great message for me.
It was.
I was really stuck. I mean, I got stuck, but you know, I was really feeling like angsty about what the heck I do with myself, you know, and I couldn't figure it out. And bam, it's like it wasn't like, okay, I'll just do that because she said so. It was like, it just something else. It was more than just a bit like the words. I can't explain it. Like from my end, on the receiving end, there's something else that comes with that.
You know what? And now that we're talking about it, and I'm actually thinking about it a little bit more, it's almost like I'll no matter who the person is, I'll have like a small connection with them. You know, even if it's just for a moment, and maybe it's because I am an empath and I'm starting to feel what they're feeling, and maybe that's how it starts. I don't know.
Maybe, maybe.
You know, I never thought about it, you know, but yeah, that could be, you know, the way it starts. And like I said, I'm just trying to help that person, no matter what the message may be. And
you know,
a lot of times I don't understand it, you know.
Something that just comes to mind the whole time we've been talking about messages, and it's popped into my head before. I think it's the Archangel Gabriel is the messenger. Is that the right one? I think Gabriel's the one who goes around and gives the messengers. And that's what that reminds me of. Gabriel, you know, the angel, you know, like going around and giving messages.
He's like my favorite angel.
Oh, there you go. That makes sense. That's the voice, I bet.
Yeah. He's my favorite. He's awesome.
Yeah, he is.
He or she, whatever, you know.
It was great. Yeah. You know, I like the angels.
A lot of us do experience a lot of self-doubt, and every day.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that if you're trying to work with your abilities, the more self-doubt you have, the harder it's going to be.
Yeah.
Did you ever go through that, you know?
I still do. Just when right before we started this interview, Misty was asking me about her dog, and her dog seemed injured, and she was wondering if my spirit guide Morgana, which we talked about on the show, if she had any ideas, or if I had any ideas what might be wrong. And Morgana gave me a few things to tell her, and I'm still like, you know, well, I don't know if this is going to help or not, but I'll let her know what Morgana tells me and what I'm seeing. I don't know if it did, but I had doubt. I mean, I still do. I'm still like, well, is that the right thing? You know?
Yeah.
So I just kind of like.
But I will tell you, or I will tell our audience that she got it. She got it spot on. She described my backyard. She described where my dog got hurt. I mean, she's never been in my backyard, and so she got it spot on.
Well, apparently Morgana has.
Well, Morgana, she's it, you know, she's my girl.
She is. She's everybody's girl.
She is. She's a sweet girl.
So I totally do have the doubts, and I mean I know that when I'm up at the shop, Amethyst Sage, when I'm actually able to work, when I was working up there, and when I go up to visit and stuff like that, a lot of people come in there and they're saying, I want to learn about this stuff. I want to jump in. Where do I start? You know, or I'm at this part and I believe this, or I feel this. And they're really reaching a lot of these people, especially younger people, I would say in their like teens and 20s come in, and older, you know, people our age and people are even older than us. Can you imagine older than us?
I don't know. And want to learn too?
They do. Okay. Yeah. and most of the people coming in are like, and my boss, Nancy, always says, you know, use your intuition. And it's like, she's so good at saying it to people to where they feel like they can, and they always have, and they know exactly how to do it. But she just has a way of putting it to them to where they just like get at ease. And then they use their intuition, and they pick that crystal that's right for them or their daughter, or, you know, they get the herbs that they want for a tea. It might, you know, it's like, I've watched it happen. And it's really I think it really does come down to just, how do we trust our intuition? Just without, is it blind faith, or is it, because we have a lot of interruption. I'm holding my solar plexus when I talk about it, because I kind of feel like that's where my intuition is. I'm kind of like poking it. But I feel like that's where the doubt also comes in too, because you got other points of view coming into your willpower. Your solar plexus is kind of like your willpower area. And that's why I think of it as my intuition area. And it's where I feel the intuition, like right through here.
Kind of like your gut.
yeah, like right through the middle. Yeah. Like, And
gut instinct, that's
it
where
is, yeah. It doesn't. Sometimes it does go low like that, but most of the time it's like right in between, like my sternum, kind of, like
yeah,
where the solar plexus chakra would be.
yeah.
And it's like I think that part of us is like swished a lot. That a lot of people, like when we're younger, want to smash that part of us down, or not everybody, but we'll have peers or adults or teachers or somebody always putting us down. We do as adults, but when we're younger, that's a big part of our culture, and it's not really. And now they address bullying and stuff like that more. Don't know if it's changed because I haven't been to school in 30 years.
I know, but we hope it is.
Yeah, I think those when we're kids, we do trust our intuition more without thinking about it because no one's told us. Well, maybe you're wrong. Maybe you're just wrong. And when I was 7 or 8, I'd be like, I'm not wrong. You're wrong.
Yeah, right. I know. And it's like the older you get, the more that you lose it, and
enough people coming in and telling you, when you're older and can remember them telling you over and over, that's not how things work, or that's not what's happening, or that's not,
yeah, and I wish it was the total opposite. I wish that we
Me
were
too. That's why I'm doing this.
Kids, hey, and it goes back to we've talked about that, like that little voice in the back of your head, that tells you right from wrong, or if you're gonna get into some kind of trouble doing this or that. If you're self-doubting yourself, then you're not going to listen to that message that says don't go that way, or don't turn right, or don't turn left, or you know what I mean. You have to go with it. And I think that when you're self-doubting yourself, that leads to worry, and then that leads to negative feelings, and
it gets everything all mixed up about what you've what you've perceiving, and it changes what you perceived into something else. It's like your own mind is out to get you sometimes with that stuff. I don't know if it's our own mind. I think it's our culture and how we were raised, really, a lot of it. Like you said, you were in a very open family about it. Mine wasn't closed, but it just wasn't something we really talked about much because nobody was experiencing it. I didn't know, I thought everybody experienced life like I did. I didn't know, so.
Right. Well, and that's how we all are,
Yeah.
Whatever our normal is what we, think everybody's normal is, but it's not, not the case.
So I guess advice for those doubts, like, especially for you, someone like you who has messages, or someone who has like, not really impulses, but like bam, it hits them, some kind of psychic sense of some sort. Like maybe they smell something and they need to, like, they smell smoke burning, but there's no smoke, and it's a message to say something or do something. Or maybe they get a thought come through and they have to tell somebody. Or maybe they see something coming down the road at them and then it's not there and they know they should take a left, and they, stuff like you were just talking about. Yeah. So I would say just like, what have you got to lose by following through, with what you're doubting? You got nothing to lose. Maybe a little embarrassment, or But hey, I've been embarrassed all my life, so I kind of got numb to it.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I felt too. I'm like, well, what have I got to lose? I really don't care what anybody thinks to begin with, so why should I care about this?
Well, we all kind of really, I really care what my family, my sons and my husband think.
Of course you do.
I mean, I love me. I don't want to be like that, but I worry. I want them to think fondly of me, and I don't want to,
Of course.
I'm still like insecure with stuff like that, but
I think we all are, but a stranger, I really, you can think I'm crazy or not. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Good way.
You're not going
Good way to put it.
I don't have to, interact with you anymore. That's and that.
If anyone who's listening does have experiences like these, and they do have that doubt, and it's hard not to, but if you do have that doubt, like, keep that in mind, that you can always just do it anyway, especially if it's say it's your best friend or your sister or someone like that, and you just have something happen that, like a message or an empathy feeling or a telepathy idea, or something that you need to tell that person about, or you want to tell that person about, even if you are like doing tarot cards or something, and you're doubting that next card and what you're interpreting it as. There's nothing wrong with telling them, I'm not sure about this, but I'm going to tell you, and then it's out there. They can, they can do whatever they want with the information you give them. That's not your job to take care of what they do with the information you give them.
That's true. That's true.
Well, but it still is, am I right? Am I wrong? It's, it's just such a gray area.
Oh gosh, I know. And I think the easiest the easiest way I can say to do is just to try to meditate more
Yeah,
and get to know yourself, as
definitely
much as
great advice.
possible.
Definitely.
And once you do that, then you can get rid of a lot of that self-doubt.
Yes, yes.
And I mean, a lot of us are working on that. I mean, I'm constantly trying to work on that.
Me
If I could
too.
only, yeah, if I could believe in myself more than anybody else, what could I do?
Right, exactly. Yeah. What could you do, Misty?
Rule the world
With an iron fist.
with an iron fist.
Well, I guess that'll be all for today, everybody. I hope you enjoyed listening. And Misty, do you have any last words for everybody today?
Well, like I said, just keep those negative feelings away and push that self-doubt to the side and keep on going.
Yeah, I love that advice. Thank you so much, Misty. This is Lisa
You're welcome.
and Misty. We're saying goodbye to you now. Meow. Goodbye. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye.